Ladies and gents, today is a very exciting day for me. We're here at the lab as always on a Sunday. We got the Supra hooked up to the dyno. This is after we drove to CM Build's meet. It was a BMW meet, but we did steal the show. Obviously, I mean, look at this thing. As most of you guys know, this is a stock bottom end build. I did build the head. We didn't even have time to take it to the machine shop for a head build. So the only thing that the machine shop did was my local boys over here. They just resurfaced the cylinder head. I basically lapped some new GSC valves in, regular intake valves, super alloy exhaust valve, standard size of course. Obviously we didn't get any modifications to the seat. We also replaced the valve seal so we don't have to worry about any oil leaks or anything like that, any oil burning or anything of that nature. And then we got some BC 276 cams, which I think the 276 is the largest cam they make. They're the stage 3s. So all the big power 12, 13, 1400 horsepower guys are running those. A lot of the drag guys are running them from what I understand. So we did that partially to keep the power band to the right, obviously, because we are sporting a HPT 6870 with a 107 V-band hot side. Now, even though it is a bigger hot side than the .82 that they usually offer with this frame V-band, this 6870 wakes up very, very quickly. So we're gonna have to kind of keep the torque in check. We have enough fuel for 1,000 horsepower. We have everything for 1,000 horsepower, but just depends on how much torque it makes. I really don't want to. Maybe we'll make 1,000 horsepower. I don't know. I really don't want to push it. Maybe we'll have like a glory map. I do have a CAN keypad in there. We can have some different boost settings and, you know, kind of just play around with it. But aside from what else we got going on, we have a Grannis Racing. Like I said, the T3 turbo kit. This was the only one that I knew for sure as a full kit cleared the right hand drive stuff because the steering shaft is essentially very, very close to the wastegate right there. As far as what else we got, I gave my buddy Lance a call at Powerhouse and I literally got everything they had to offer aside from an intake manifold and their turbo kit. So everything else that they offer Powerhouse Racing. We even got the 1 gallon catch can, which required me to get rid of the ABS. Who needs ABS? You know what I mean? Like, just be a man, pump it fast, very fast. Powerhouse Racing, dual brushless spout fans. These bad boys at full tilt give you about 4,500 CFM of airflow, which is absurd. Powerhouse Racing radiator. I got their radiator because of the Dash 20 bungs already welded on there, and then of course the XRP crimped on Dash 20 lines that they offer for the upper and lower water necks. Upper and lower water necks from Powerhouse Racing. Their intercooler charge pipe kit, which CM Builds, Chris from CM Builds had to modify to make it work. So we got a tile blow-off valve. The car is obviously it's on speed density. It's on a Haltech 2500. Induction performance, IGN-1A kit with their harness. We got the IGN-1As, you know, these are great coils, the same ones that we run on the Evos, 50, 60, 70 pounds of boost, no problems. Fuel system wise, we got 2 Radium 450 high pressure pumps. Lance actually sent me a relay kit, the twin relay kit for the pumpers as well, so both of them are running battery voltage, which is going to help us with our power goals, so we're not going to be out of fuel. As far as injectors go, we had the 1050Xs, we swapped them over to the 1700 XDXs. So again, like I said, we have enough fuel for 1,000 horsepower, and then some. We can turn it up even more because we're at about 52-53 pounds of base pressure, so good amount of fuel pressure. Aside from that, a bunch of cosmetic stuff that we also did. For instance, we got rid of the ugly power steering reservoir, the OEM one. We got a PHR one, eliminating the power steering cooler. Some wiring here that I'll eventually clean up. So most of this stuff is for the ignition stuff. We have the battery relocation kit, obviously, because the OEM battery location is right here. So we got the Powerhouse Racing battery relocation kit in the back. We do have the Radium feed and return lines and all that jam. As far as the transmission goes, it's a stock V160. I did get a C's replica shifter from, I think it's called Raceworks. company in Australia. I'm waiting for that to come in, but I did replace the shifter bushing itself, shifter rebuild kit just for the time being. OEM fluid obviously in the trans, RPS triple carbon clutch kit, very expensive clutch kit, but you know, I didn't want to have to do this twice. So I didn't want to get a McLeod. I didn't want to get like one that, you know, once we build the motor I have to spend another couple $1,000s. I figured I'd just do it once, do it right. We also made provisions, obviously, you know, we want to make sure that it can hold the boost, so we replaced the head gasket with an OEM gasket. Obviously the cylinder head was off, so we did have to replace it. We didn't go anything crazy, just the OEM Toyota MLS, which from my understanding, no issues with that. We did go with the 625 plus custom H ARP head studs, same stuff that we run in our drag Evo. One issue that we are having is we have an oil leak. I can't seem to find if it's, well, I found one oil leak that I believe is coming from the front crank seal. I don't know why. We have the PHR oil pump. We installed the seal properly, but I don't know if it's just that or there's a secondary leak, because it does leave kind of a puddle, which pisses me off. Right now we're on the dyno, so we're gonna keep a close eye on it. And if we see, obviously I have the oil pressure fail safes on the Haltech all set up, but
it's time.
I think it's time, man. I think it's time. Yeah. So. Back on the hubs, I remember when we did the first video, we made whopping 570 on that old school Borg Warner.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun day. So Sunday fun day. I mean, this is the true definition of Sunday fun day.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some part throttle drivability stuff, which honestly on the way to the meet, I kind of tuned the car drivability wise, but we're gonna, yeah, just make some quick little changes and then put it on the gate and yeah, see what we can do on the gate.
I haven't heard this car yet, so I'm curious what the cam, the exhaust.
Cam sound amazing. It's gonna shoot massive flames. And for you guys that have been watching, we have a full 4-inch exhaust, and from the mid pipe back, it's titanium, so it's extremely loud.
And I gotta stand back there.
And you gotta stand back there. Actually, I would like to get a video of you with your face in front of the exhaust.
Yeah.
Too lazy to go get E85. I'm just gonna put E90 in it. It has some leftover E85, so we're gonna end up at E85. It's like opening a cold can of Coke. Okay, there's a problem right here.
That's the issue.
That's the, yeah, it's a connection issue. You see that? It's the pins. So we can make it work. Just fighting boost control right now. So it creeps to like 28. Goes from 26 to 28, and it makes that big of a difference in the actual power curve. But I want it to be a steady 26 right now.
Why am I standing here? It's such a bad idea. Oh my god. That sounds so nasty. Oh yeah.
that's not bad, man. We're asking too much from the stock motor.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, I can't. There's no more boost, so we're tapped on the gate. Initially, I wanted to like keep that torque like tame, even like where it like humps, but YOLO. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? You bottom, man. Who cares? But yeah, I mean, you can really see the limitation of the, you know, the T3 V-band style turbo, even though it's a 6870. Like a next gen 6870 from PTE would have made like over 1,000 easily. All right, so the only thing we didn't do today is set up the CAN keypad, but it's about 7 o'clock and we haven't eaten since morning, so we kind of have to tend to that. We made 884.8, we'll call it 885. I think it's fair to call it 885. And 666 foot-pounds of torque. That's a good number, huh?
Great number.
So anytime you go past 600, it's just like the Evos, you know, like 100 foot-pounds per cylinder kind of rule of thumb. We kind of have the boost like tapering up, so it hits 25 pounds and then it slowly gradually goes up to 32, and then it kind of holds 32, 31 and drops off. On the street it's not going to drop off because obviously we're going to have that headwind, but on the dyno there's only so much air that, you know, the poor engine can ingest, so you always see a couple pounds of difference. But you know, we are maxed as far as like the wastegate duty cycle and the spring go. Anytime you reach like 70% duty cycle and it doesn't make a change, chances are if you go to 90, it's not gonna make a difference. That being said, timing is still tame. We're at like 14.5, 15 degrees. I went up to 17.5 just to see if it would make a difference. It actually lost power, so we're past MBT, and we were pretty much, you know, doing pull after pull after pull. If we let this thing cool down, we can get a 900 number easily out of it. Everything performed exactly as we hoped it would.
Yeah.
We fixed that major leak. There's still a seal leak that I have to address. 900 horse dyno jet car all day on a stock motor, like I said, so it's very impressive. I'm very impressed. Fuel wise, we were at about 81% injector duty. We can always bump up the base pressure if we wanted to get more power out of it, but again, this is kind of good where it's at.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and the graph looks really good. Like even down low where it hits, it's still making like 570 torque, and then it kind of climbs and then kind of has a taper. So it's definitely not a graph that I'm used to looking at, because we're used to seeing that peak torque and fall off, or peak torque and hit and hold basically, but it's a little different approach. But yeah, performed flawlessly. Now we just got to get it ready to go to the wrap shop.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. If you guys want to see us do some runs in Mexico, hits in Mexico, you make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. You guys have been really good at that actually. So hey, it's a 2J. Anybody that sees this video, it's not clickbait. It's a 900 horsepower car. We're gonna say 900. Are we gonna say 900?
We should round it up to 900. I think it's
900
fair.
or 1,000, because technically to the crank.
1,000.
Do we train? Do we factor in drivetrain losses? Or?
You're a YouTuber now, so you have to round it up. Yeah.
The clickbait, huh?
Exactly.
1,000 horsepower stock motor Supra. No, I'm gonna get something. We'll do 900. That's 15 horsepower off, and technically, if it's on a dyno jet, it'll make it. Stay tuned for wrap reveal. We kind of know what we want, color-wise. That being said, grab yourself a beer, man. It's Sunday.